everybody thinks it's really easy because they look at you, you throw out the chum, and then the fish are there and you just yard them in. That's not the way it is. You got to find the right place. You have to have what they want in your chum even. Because I've seen a guy who was just catching them all over the place and we couldn't catch any with 3 other boats there. And as soon as he left, then the next people that were closest to him caught the fish. And I gave up because that was going to be too long until they caught them and then I left. But it's hard to get them, and we'll show you the bite later because it is so delicate. The fish suck in your bait. And you have to get it while on the suck in because once they've breathed it back out, it's too late. You'll see that, I hope. Weight to get you down and a hook that you can hook the fish with. I like the spinner because we use oyster shells in the chum, and this little spinner, when you go like that, it looks like the oyster shell, which is an attractant. And it has a little glow hook, Powski green label, egg, and live maggots. Now, this is what I found, is that the kokanee love these eggs. They suck them off if you're not quick enough and don't hook them, but they won't come back and get the maggot. But I thought, I'll just use the egg, then they won't come. So it's like it's got to be the combination of both, at least in my boat. And so that's how you hook it. I do anyway. An egg and 2 maggots. Still fishing kokanee. See, that's what I was afraid of. It wraps around the anchor rope. And then I have a bucket for bleeding, and it has ice in it because it's 72.9 degrees.
Is it really that warm?
Yes. So I got these black Macs, the old school with the flip and switch, and I've done it so it just goes down really slow. And it also, when I reel it in, I can bring it in really slow too, or I can bring it in fast, which is what I was taught. Sometimes if you stop it, you could have a bite going down. Not always though. There, we're on bottom. Start with 1, 2 things up. And this is the important part. Look down at the line now. Is you have to be still. And you bring it in a little bit, and as soon as it's still, if they're there, you'll get a bite. So it's still fishing, you're staying still, and as soon as your bait lure is still, they grab it.
I lost it on the hoist.
Yep. Did you have it looked like it was pretty close up.
Yeah.
To attract fish, we try to throw out some chum. The chum is dry when I get here, and then I add water to it until it gets about this consistency. kind of a wet dry. And it has let's say 4 scoops of wheat bran, 2 scoops of blood meal, 2 scoops of oyster shells, a scoop of bone meal, and a little bit of rock salt, so half a scoop of rock salt. And I do that because sometimes I have some left over, and the next day I come and I hope it helps preserve it, not make it go bad. Anyway, and then you toss it out.
Now, Toni, you can't chum everywhere, can you?
Oh yes, no you can't. You have to look at the regulations, and it will say chumming permitted. And locally, all the ones that I've seen are Lake Washington, Stevens Lake, Lake Stevens, and Clear Lake and American Lake.
Okay, so unless it says specifically you can chum,
Don't
no
chum.
chumming.
No
I know that Baker Lake you can chum as well if you ever kokanee fish there too. But as always, check the regs for updates.
Yeah, who knows when they'll change them. I told you they'd come. You just need to pay attention to your tip.
Yeah, my attention span is not as good as yours.
Gotta be in the zone.
Okay.